Hi folks, Puffin here with your Antifa News Briefa for August 26, 2021. A tragic day. There was an attack on the evacuation effort in Afghanistan to get Americans and Afghans who helped America in the war against Afghanistan out of the country. The attack was presumably carried out by the ISIS-K terrorist group, despite security by the Taliban and the Americans to protect the Air Force Base. Apparently happened at the American layer of that security. And I don't think we have exact figures, but it probably killed dozens of people and injured probably hundreds more. And most of those people were Afghans trying to get out of the country. And 12 of those people were American soldiers. And I saw or heard on the radio General McKenzie and President Joe Biden in their addresses to the nation on it, or to the press and to the nation on it. And they both gave good speeches. General McKenzie sounded very intelligent and in command of the situation and explained things very well. And President Joe was both very clear and direct in what he had to say, and intelligent sounding as well, and also very compassionate and concerned and focused. And it was good to hear. It was good to hear a president sounding presidential again, sounding American again. So that was nice. But the one thing that they both emphasized that I wanted to emphasize here is how they were working with the Taliban. And they weren't emphasizing this point. They were just letting people know that that is how it's working, and how they suspect it's the ISIS-K terrorist group attacking that is also, in opposition or fighting with the Taliban. They both mentioned that America and the Taliban in this situation, in this week, are now 4 days before their deadline that Joe Biden had suggested, that in this week they have a shared interest. And I think the more they can actualize that shared interest and work together, that this was a disruption to that and a terrible tragedy. Condolences to all the families of the people who were killed and all the people who were injured. And it was expected. They were expecting something like this to happen. And they probably have also stopped other similar attempts. So hopefully just being able to stop it as they've stopped them before, they'll be able to stop them even better into the future, and this will be the worst of it. So we don't want any more attacks. And it would be kind of nice to show a lesson how these former enemies for 20 years, can work together to reach a common goal. Now, to me, the big lesson here is that we could have worked together to reach a common goal 20 years ago. If the goal was to remove Al-Qaeda, we could have worked with even the Taliban to do that in their country. Now, there was the idea that they were maybe an illegitimate government to begin with. As far as I understand, we had supported the Taliban or Mujahideen fighting the Russians through Osama bin Laden. Reagan was funding Osama bin Laden to do this all through the 80s. And what seems to be going on now is Putin doing the same to us for revenge, for what he sees as what led to the breakup of the Soviet Union. Now we are fractured within, and we have had this war for 20 years, whereas the Soviets were there for 10. And, his revenge seems complete, but he's still, pushing on the gas pedal. So we have to keep that in mind, that it seems like Trump has sold the country out. Trump had positioned the Taliban to take over, and all those leaders just handed it over and didn't even give the army orders to fight. So we shouldn't blame the army or think that that was even ill-prepared. But the whole model is wrong. Instead of spending all that money on weapons that the terrorists end up getting, spend it on actual building and helping a poor country. And you give people enough opportunities and prosperity, and there's no desire to join a terrorist group. You destroy that terrorist group by cutting off its supply of people. You starve it to death by it not having people that it relies on to do terrorist acts, because everybody's happy in the country. That could be done, and it should be the model from now on. War is obsolete. We should cut it out. And that's what we should learn from being able to work with people that we've been fighting for 2 decades in just a matter of days. Thanks, and have a good day.